The science of Demon Slayer. What if every sword swing in Demon Slayer was secretly obeying real physics? By the end of the video, you might never watch a sword fight the same way again. Let's begin with part 1, Kinematics. This is the science of motion. We step into the swordsmith's physics. This is where kinematics meets craftsmanship. It's not just about making a sharp blade, it's about engineering motion. Kinematics is about optimizing motion itself. Then there's effective mass, which is how heavy the sword feels during impact and impulse. Now we look at the anatomy of the Nichirin blade. Its center of mass sits low for control and reduced fatigue. The distal taper reduces weight toward the tip, allowing extreme speed. A high moment of inertia blade feels sluggish, almost dead in the hand. A low high moment of inertia blade, like a Nichirin sword, feels fast and responsive. An axe relies on raw mass, swinging slow but devastating. A sword relies on velocity, optimized for speed and agility. Since kinetic energy scales with velocity squared, the sword's advantage isn't subtle, it's exponential. Effective mass is the blade's apparent inertia during collision. It's highest near the center of mass and drops toward the tip. So here's the dilemma. The fastest point on the blade is also the weakest for force transfer. This creates a contradiction. You need both mass and velocity to win a fight, but they exist in opposite regions of the blade. So the real question becomes, where do those two curves overlap in the most effective way? The ideal strike point isn't the tip or the handle. It's somewhere in between, where speed and structural force combine for maximum damage. But even that isn't enough alone. Slayers rely on whole-body unity. By aligning the entire body at impact, they effectively add their own mass behind the blade, preventing recoil and turning the strike into a single unified system of force. Now we reach the center of percussion. This is the point where the blade delivers full energy into the target without sending shock back into the wielder's hands. Finding this point is a skill. Masters instinctively strike where vibration cancels out. At the center of percussion, there's zero reaction force traveling back to the hilt, meaning all energy goes forward into the target, not into the slayer's arms. Now we split force into two outcomes. Kinetic energy drives cutting, fast, sharp, clean. Impulse drives crushing, slow, heavy, destructive. A perfect strike balances both depending on whether you're slicing or breaking through resistance. Elastic collisions bounce energy away, which is useless for hunters. Inelastic collisions absorb energy fully, which is what actually causes damage. So the perfect strike is a combination. Low moment of inertia, full body unity, center of percussion impact, and inelastic energy transfer. When all four align, the strike becomes mechanically unavoidable and catastrophically effective. Now we move into part 2, the Nichirin blade and biomechanics. Nichirin steel has a unique property. It interacts with sunlight. Forged from rare ores, it absorbs solar energy, turning a natural weakness of demons into a structural advantage embedded directly into the weapon itself. The blade even reflects breathing styles. Water breathing flows smoothly and continuously. Thunder breathing prioritizes explosive speed. Sun breathing represents the origin point of all styles, tied to extreme physiological control. What looks like elemental magic is actually biomechanics. The water, fire, and lightning effects are visual representations of movement efficiency, not literal elements. Now we enter part 3, the crimson red blade. This is where physics shifts into thermodynamics. Here, mechanical motion doesn't just cut, it generates heat powerful enough to disrupt biological systems. Total concentration breathing pushes human physiology beyond normal limits. It increases oxygen intake dramatically, accelerating muscle output and reaction speed. The crimson red blade is about work conversion. The swordsman generates torque, converts it into kinetic energy, and pushes it beyond normal efficiency so that excess energy becomes heat instead of being lost. That heat becomes lethal. It burns through regenerative biology at a cellular level. Instead of just cutting, the blade prevents recovery entirely, turning wounds into permanent damage zones. At the cellular scale, the effect is devastating. Thermal energy halts regeneration, denatures tissue, and prevents healing pathways from activating. The body cannot recover because the biological system itself is disrupted. And finally, the master equation. A perfect strike is not magic, It's the convergence of biomechanics, kinematics, and thermodynamics. When body control, blade physics, and energy transfer align, the result is absolute efficiency.